Hello, everyone. Welcome. I am Linda Israel, and thank you so very much for coming to my live stream here on YouTube. I greatly appreciate your support and for taking the time to come here and hang out. There are a few things that I want to go over before the actual live started, so this is a recording. First of all, I want to make sure that you like this video and subscribe, so give it a thumbs up. I greatly appreciate that. When you subscribe, make sure you hit that notification bell up in the corner. That way you'll get a notification whenever I upload a video. I have a broadcast post or even a live stream. If you're watching this video as a replay and you're on a computer, look for the little gear at the bottom. You can change the speed to speed it up. Or if you're on a mobile device, look for the little three dots and usually you can change the playback speed there. My live streams generally last about 2 hours. They can go as long as 3 hours. It kind of depends on what we're working on that day and how the feedback is in the chat. While you're watching, you earn junk bucks. So if you are here, in order to get those junk bucks accumulating, go ahead and type hello in the chat, and my little bot, Junkie Joe, will see you, and then you'll start accruing junk bucks. And you're wondering, well, what do I do with those junk bucks? Well, you can accumulate those, and once you have 2,000 of them, you can type exclamation point award, and you can redeem them for a $10 off coupon to my shop. You can earn junk bucks while you're here and when you are chatting, as well as when you play the in-chat game. So look for those as they come up, and if you make a donation. For those of you that make a donation during my live stream, make sure that you go over to my website at lindaisrael.com, and if you haven't already done so, create a user account. When you make a donation during my live stream, basically you're buying a membership to my website and to the live stream. In my opinion, what we're doing is you're accumulating that money in my account. Thank you for that donation. And as a reward, you will get 5% off your orders at lindaisrael.com. And during the live stream, if I have a journal that I'm giving away at the very end, you are eligible to win that journal. Anybody that makes a donation gets into that drawing by manually typing in the raffle at the end, but then you also get the discount membership on my website. Thank you to Robin, who is my administrator during the live stream. She helps me out with answering questions as well as giving information. She is also my administrator over at the Friendly Junk Journal People Facebook group. If you haven't joined that group, please do. We'd love to have you over there. You're welcome to share what you're working on. Speaking of sharing, during the live today, you can speak up in the chat and say, hey, I have a YouTube channel. You will not be able to share your link to your channel, but you can at least say, hey, my name is, and this is what I do. And then your friends that come into the chat can follow each other. Let's keep the chat upbeat, friendly, and helpful. If you will be kind to those that are here. If you have a question, put it in all caps and I'll do my best to answer those. The chat sometimes goes pretty fast, so I don't always see it, so do ask again. And at the same time, if you're in the chat and you know the answer to somebody's question, please speak up and give them the answer. Check the description box for links to products that I share today. Yes, I am an Amazon affiliate, which means I do get a commission on items that you purchase through my link. If you're going to buy something anyway, I greatly appreciate it. It does not cost you any extra. It just gives me a little bit of a commission, which helps me buy products to show you here. If you win one of the raffles, you can start right now by typing exclamation point raffle. Do make sure that you go over to my website, and if you haven't already, created a user account. That way I will have your contact information so I can send you your prize. I am starting a raffle right now that is for 200 junk bucks, so you can get well on your way to accumulating your junk bucks. Let's have some fun today and let's get started. Thanks everybody for being here. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. How are you? How you doing? We're here. We're live. It's not Memorex. Yeah, I'm glad to hear that you're getting moved in and you're taking it slow. Good to have you here, Jennifer, as well as Austin. If someone else is lurking in there, go ahead and say hello in the chat so I can do a shout out to you. I've been busy. I've been busy this weekend. This past week, work. And then I've been working kind of in my yard a little bit, in my greenhouse. Yes. We were shopping for something else while we were at Lowe's, and all their bulbs are on sale. They were 50% off, and I bought 2 packages, and I planted those, and I told my husband, I said, I think I need 2 more packages. And he goes, no, you don't. I said, yes, I do. Pardon me. And so we went back to Lowe's and I got 2 more packages. So I planted 40 tulip bulbs. So hopefully they will all pop up in the spring. I tried to put them where they got full sun. So I'm kind of excited about that. Is Margie here? Margie, thank you so much for being here. I missed you, lady. I hope you're well. What else did we do? I rearranged my greenhouse a little bit because it was time to start pulling plants because we had a really, really low temperature and our greenhouse leaks. I hired a guy to build from an old building our greenhouse, but I regret some of the things that he has done or he did. And so we had to figure out a way to remedy. So Henry and I went shopping, and this is why I found out about the bulbs, because I was shopping for something else. And we ended up getting a 6mm thickness piece of plastic, kind of like a plastic tarp, but we're using it on the roof of our little greenhouse. Hopefully it won't leak. And Henry kind of tested it this weekend because we watered our garden area that's near the greenhouse, and he says, well, it doesn't look like there's any water in there, so I'm glad about that. And what else? Yeah, just the fall cleanup as we are getting those lower temperatures. Although today it was absolutely gorgeous outside. I think I saw it got up to 80, but it does not feel like 80. I had the back door open most of the day. Thank you so much, Margie, for your support. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, he's got football on. Still feeling poorly. I'm sorry. I understand. Well, Lord, I just ask that you be with Margie and help her through her illness and give her the strength to do the things that she wants to do. And I ask you also to be with Julie and her moving, and my friend Jennifer and Austin with whatever going on in their lives. Lord, I just thank you and praise you for the blessings that you give us. And thank you, Lord, for my friends. All right. Well, so last week I did some gel printing, and I've already kind of sorted through them. Let me get my pile. I think I got more things here than I need, but so I had pages where I had just cleaned my brayer. I love these pages. I don't know why. They're really fun to use as a foundation for a journal card or a journal page. And then I had different gel prints. These are some digitals that I pulled out just in case I wanted to use them. Like this one may not be the prettiest paper, but I think it's going to make a great background to put other stuff on top. And then this was using orange and dark green. And when you print the orange on top of that dark green, it made it look black. Pardon me. You're very welcome. You're very welcome. Hey, Michelle, welcome. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Love you too. I love this gel print with the red and the gold. And then, although this was kind of an experiment during the live because I should have tested it ahead of time, this was using, did I keep the flower? I think it fell over here. I had a little silk flower that I had pressed into the gel plate, and I love the texture. So next time I'm out shopping, I'm going to see if I can find some bigger flowers like this with petals like this, and possibly different sizes. I keep messing with this. I don't know why. But anyhow, this was using different spools that held thread, and I like the different texture it had in there. Again, here's another just kind of mopping up the paint. Mopping up the paint, more of those. And then I separated out all of the teal, blue, green colors. So we've got some just mop up pages in here. And here is where I used the pool noodle that I cut and got some interesting texture. A stencil with gold and brown and green. I think this was the last thing I printed during the live stream, is where I used a spool and lifted paint, and then we picked it all up with a kind of a light green in the background. Some more mop-up papers. It feels weird. Oh, that's why. It's because it's one piece. I thought it was two pieces. You burn parchment paper for science? Cool! Sick and tired of feeling tired. I understand, Julie. Well, you have to take good care of yourself and enjoy your new home. I love the way this one turned out. And I think there's two together. I didn't notice that before. There sure is. Look at there. So this was kind of had a little bit of some grunge left on the page. And then this is just another color. Here's one where I was just adding color to the gel print plate. Just playing around. I love this one. This is the Feeding Frenzy stencil with some colors. And this is the Victorian cross stitch. I think that's what that's called. Another one of the pool noodles. And I think these are some more just various colors. We're not going to really do the blues and the greens today. I thought we would kind of stick with some of the fall colors. I'm trying to get my pile back over here. And then here's some brown and gold. And here was where I printed this before the live stream. Another mop-up paper. This gold and brown and green is kind of fun. More kind of cleaning up my gel plate as well. And then just some random papers I have here. Pardon me. I've got kind of allergies going on today. All right, I'm going to set this over here. So I kind of pulled a couple of things. I had originally planned just to try to make things out of all the gel prints. And then I haven't had time to work on the paper bag journal that we started a couple of weeks ago. So I thought, well, what I'll do is I'll make a few things to go in that journal. So to start with, I have a piece of cardstock here that's two-sided from the Canvas Corp 7 Gypsies, and I cut it to be 6 inches, and it is currently 8 inches tall. And then I saw that I had one of these mop-up papers, and I thought that might look good over this piece. And then I've got some other layers. So I think what I want to do is start with gluing this down. I know that I want to kind of cut off that edge. So I think what I'll do is just put this down and glue it on here. So Michelle's been burning paper for science. Julie is unpacking. She's moved into a new apartment. And then what else? What have you been doing, Jennifer? What about you, Austin? You wish you could have forced this. Well, you know, I don't know what kind of supplies you have, Michelle. There's a lot of people who make their own stencils. So don't think that you have to purchase stencils. You can always just make your own. I'm just kind of putting this in the center. Use my foam folder. You can save some packaging, or if you come across maybe a sheet protector, and you can use a craft knife and cut your own. If you happen to have a electronic cutting machine like a Cricut or a Silhouette or a Brother, you could always use those tools to create stencils as well. Oh, well, I'm sorry that you have stencils from that place that I will not name because I think they're garbage. Yeah, and that's what Julie just said. Find things that'll make pretty marks. Like I used the spools that were from thread. I'm going to go ahead and just throw those pieces away. We spent Saturday with your kids and grandkids and at Trade Days Market, and I'm working on some Christmas. Oh, nice, Jennifer. Well, they might be more affordable, but I personally don't support them because of the fact that there is a lot of artists that I know that have had their artwork stolen. And that's not cool to me. That's theft. So I'm not going to support somebody that, says it's cool to have theft. That's what you want to do? Be my guest. Don't talk to me about it because that's what I'm going to say. I have my opinion. You have yours. Yeah, it's all knockoffs. And I've had too many of my friends that said that when they got it, they were so disappointed because it was trash. Okay, I'm trying to decide if I want to trim away the white on this piece or if I want to leave it. I found a, what is this called? Paint chip that I had picked up when I was buying paint for my backyard projects. I'm trying to decide, do I want to do something like that? Oh, and I also have a little piece of brown. I don't know. We'll see. We'll just kind of play with things. I thought if I cut a little piece of brown fabric and put that on there, I think I need to distress this. And yeah, let's start there. Let's start distressing that. Oh, you've used Play-Doh to flatten out and press into things that have patterns and then use that on the gel plate. Oh, use it over and over. That's a cool way to do it. That's a cool way. Yeah, use your Play-Doh. I happen to have some polymer clay. I don't know if it's still good. I may have to go take a look at it. You know what I may do is, if I were to see what I can make. Well, I hate to distract from this piece. I think what I want to do though is I'm going to go around this outside edge with some gold embossing powder. How about we do that? All right, so I've got some gold. I've got my Versamark. I saw a stamp that I had picked up a while back, and I don't know if this one will work. If we just stamp it around the edge. So let's see if I can open this up. So I need a block. Will that fit on there? That looks like it will fit. I'm going to put this on my... If you are trying to temporarily store your cling mounted stamps, but you don't want to have to pull back out the original that's it's being stored on when you keep it put away, I have here a piece of chipboard. You can use a couple of pieces of cardstock, and I use lamination over that, and that allows me to stick these over here, and I can have them still out on my desk if I want them without pulling out the whole thing. It's some kind of Bow Bunny Fanciful Flourishes stamp. And I thought I would use this one and put it on here. Let's see what I can do. Okay. Put this back over here. Pardon me. And I need a piece of scrap paper. And we're going to open this so it's ready when we get there. Try not to flip it everywhere. I'm re-wearing some nails that I wore a while back because I haven't been inspired to make any new nails recently. This morning, before I put these nails on, I loaded up my little stands that I have nails ready to start decorating. And I've been looking on Pinterest for some ideas, but I haven't quite decided what I wanted to do. This may have come from Hobby Lobby. I don't know. Probably it's Bow Bunny. They were normally $3.99 and I found it for 99 cents. I don't know. I've had it for a while, but maybe not that long. Okay, so I'm going to go here and kind of go off the page a little bit. Let's see what happens. Now, it may stick a little bit in places because this was acrylic paint, so it may have a little bit on the edges, but I think I'm okay with that. So I'm going to go ahead and do... I'm going to wipe this away. Okay, and then trying to do this corner so it kind of touches. All right, and then go here. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and heat this side up, and that way I don't have to worry about knocking it off. Oh, yeah, some people like to do the burning on the edge of paper. That's not really my thing, but you could do it for sure. And another thing you can use, Michelle, on your gel plate is you can use rubber stamps. Now, you'll want to keep a tub of water right next to you, and I would recommend using the cling mounted stamps because you can stick the whole thing in water, whereas a wood mounted stamp, it would ruin the wood mount, and you don't want to do that. So I would say use a regular rubber stamp, and you can take texture off. Another thing you can use is potatoes. You can carve into potatoes and use those. You can't use them over and over again because they will rot, but you can use all kinds of stuff on a gel print, on a gel plate. Oh, 5 vintage brooches, fun. I have some old vintage brooches with my polymer clay stuff. I have the, it's a 2-part epoxy type molding stuff, and you can use it to create your own molds. And so I'll use those on a lot of my old brooches that I've had. All right, kind of dust this off. Okay, and then let's do this side. Go right there. Okay, I like this so far. We'll have to test fit everything and see how it looks. Rubber stamps or clear stamps, just so long as it's not on a wood block. I would say cling mount stamps is what I would say. So you can use regular rubber. This is a gray laser rubber. You can use the red rubber. I, again, would say use the cling mount, because if you stamp into your gel plate with paint, then you'll want to clean that paint off of your rubber stamp quickly, and it works better if you can submerge it into some water immediately. If you happen to have what's called a stamp scrubbing pad, that helps, but if you don't, you can just use a really old washcloth or kitchen towel and get it a little wet and then rub your rubber stamp on there. Yeah. You like burning craft stuff? Well, you know, try it. I don't know how well it would work on the gel print because of the acrylic paint, if it will react differently. Just be prepared to put out the fire. All right, so far I have, I'm trying to decide if there's a right side. I think this is the right way. All right, so what did I do with all my pieces? Oh, here we are. I don't know if I want to go all the way around, so I was just going to go partially. And I know we're covering up some of it, but I think that looks pretty, adding that a little bit on the edges. All right, so I'm going to close this up. Put it away. Put my stamp pad away. And then I'll clean my rubber stamp. I've just got some water here and a little rag. Okay, and we'll put this back on the backer sheet, which is over here. There we go, and put it away. I don't always store them back into the original packaging, but for right now I will, until that packaging, I guess, falls apart and I find a different place to store things. Okay, so we are, I'm going to wipe this off. Oh, I have a mess here. We got to clean this off, Linda. Oh, I just knocked a block in the floor. Knocking things over. Okay. I don't know if I want to use that today or not. Because of the wet glue, it caused my card to curl. You can always place it under a heavy book. All right, do we want to leave it at an angle and then put this piece on here? It might help if I turn it right side up. I've got this little piece. I'm kind of overlapping it a little bit. And then I was thinking this little piece of brown. I know we're covering up some of the book page, but that's okay. I'm going to get out my fabric scissors, and I think right about here. I may cut this to a smaller piece. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how this works. You're a craft pyromaniac? Stand in the sink with the kitchen rodder. Who else does that? Okay, kind of like that. I have here some butterflies that maybe we could put on there. Should we do some stitching? I'm thinking, even though I could write on this, I may cover the back with a piece of like coffee dyed paper. So let's glue these pieces in place, and then maybe I can stitch around the frame, and that'll kind of give us a nice little pop there in the middle. All right, so this is an acrylic gel print in the back, so I'm going to use some Fabri-Tac, or no, this is 3-in-1. Same, to me, I don't know what the difference is between the 3-in-1 and the Fabri-Tac. It's all by Beacon. It smells the same. It looks the same. I don't know if it's actually different or not. Okay. And I probably didn't need that much glue, but I want to make sure it's down. Okay. So put that across. And let's smooth it out. I'm liking it. And then I was thinking of kind of putting this where it's coming out the top just a little bit. And then this was going to go over here. And then this will kind of go just so we have a little peeking all the way around. Yep. All right. Let's glue this one down. Put this one right about here. Okay. There. And then I'll glue this down. I'm just going to put some dots of the Aleene's tacky glue on the back and pop that into place in the bottom. It's a scrapbook cardstock that was from a Canvas Corp 7 Gypsies pack of papers I got whenever I would go visit them in Springdale, Arkansas. They had a junk area, so I have a bunch of this. And so this is one side, and then this is the other side. And this became junk paper because they made paper pads that they sold. But this particular one, the print was wrong on the other side from what they had originally set up as their item for sale. So they, instead of throwing it away, because they are a crafty paper craft company, put it aside in their junk bins, and you could go through the junk bins and pull out items to use. And so I had picked up a bunch of those. And in fact, if you had picked up in the past some of my creative junk journal kits, there may have been some of that in one of those. So I'm just trying to use up what I have. Okay, I'm just smoothing this out. This is going to be a large, oversized journal card. All right, so we're going to go over to the sewing machine. So sewing lamb, Giovanna made me this little lamb a long time ago, and she's super cute, handmade. I just love it. And I'm going to put my sewing machine on a zigzag stitch. Okay, get it done, Julie. We look forward to seeing pictures in the group whenever you get it done. All right, let's go over to the sewing machine. All right, let's see if I've got this set right. I think so. I've got it on zigzag. I've got regular thread, regular needle. I do recommend that you change your needle every so often, and if you're going to go back to sew fabric, you'll want to put a new needle in after sewing on paper. And then I also recommend that you don't sew on top of wet glue because it'll just make a big mess. Oh, thank you, Margie. Bye. All right, so I'm going to start up here in this corner and just kind of zigzag stitch around. And then go down this way. This will help also make all those layers stick to the card pretty good. I've got some stickers I think I might use. And I don't know if I want to get out some rubber stamped images too, or maybe we'll do some rubber stamped words. So there it looks like. There we go. Okay, I'm liking that so far. Put the lamb back where he belongs in his little bed. So I've got these stickers that I bought off of Amazon a while back. If I can figure out where the opening is. There it is. And I saw this one. They're kind of transparent, so you'll be able to see the text a little bit from behind. And then I have some words. Let's see what we've got here that we might want to use. We could do live your best life down here. I kind of like that. All right, so here comes the hard part. I've got to get a pen of some sort and peel apart the backing, and I always have a problem. And then others are like, oh yeah, that's how you do that. So I've got my second pair of glasses on. You see those? And then I'm just going to pop this. And usually it works just perfectly for me until I do a live. Come on. I would wish that they could make this a little bit easier. Come on. I know this is what I want to do. Come on, cooperate. I'm going to get it. I'm not giving up. It just doesn't want to. Come on. Sometimes if you curl it, it'll just pop free. But for whatever reason today, all right, I'm going to try something. See if I can kind of, I thought if I scarred it a little bit. Oh, I got it. I got it. Look there. Yay. Okay. So now I was going to put that right there. Let me get my bone folder. Put that back in there. I got 2 bone folders out. That's funny. I think I'll put this up higher. I like it. I like it a lot. Okay, let's glue that down. This is going to be real paint, so I'm going to use the beacon glue. So this will stick. Okay. I got it. I got it. Thank you, Marty. Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right, we'll put that right about here. I may kind of straighten it just a little bit. I like it. Well, look at there. That looks pretty good, doesn't it? We got a little bit of some fraying from the journal card. Okay, that'll go in my journal that I'm working on over here. I know where it's going to go, so I'm going to kind of pop it in there. And so my journal, I've been laying things in it that I think I want to use. I just noticed why is that not straight? Do we need to go this way? That went more crooked. Why are you so crooked? There we go. That's straighter. Okay. So I've laid some things in here that I think I want to use. And this one is another gel print. This is the center of the journal. And originally I had left the strings because I thought I would put in some charms. So I think I'm going to cut these strings off there. Get rid of the bigger piece or the smaller piece by putting it in my bin. And then I've got a gel print that I made during the live stream. And I think I'm just going to glue it directly onto the page. I'm okay with there being a little bit of a border all the way around. Let's add some distress inks to that edge. I've got, where is it? I have a blending brush, so I'm going to get a couple of pieces of paper, put one here, get another one, and we'll put one over here. And then I'll use this with my walnut stain and just kind of go around the edges. So even if I've already got a journal put together, you can go ahead and do some distressing and decorating with the page. Just got to get creative of how you address the page, right? Straightish, exactly. And that's all that counts is straightish. It doesn't matter. It's okay. All right, we'll put this away. Put this back up here. And then I want this piece is going to go over that edge. I'm trying to decide if I want to stamp on these edges. Another thing I could do is go ahead and cut this in half and then actually center it on the page. I would need to do some distressing down the middle. And I could have left the strings, but I didn't. But I think I want, yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and just fold this. And I know I want it in the middle. So I'm going to try to get it somewhat centered top to bottom. Okay. And then I'm going to add glue to this side and smooth it all out. Smooth it out. Okay, and then it looks like I got it a little bit off, but I think I'm going to go ahead and just lay this down. I like the gold in this gel print. I may need a little bit of glue on the edges here. Glue it down. Okay, I like it. Get rid of these. Don't have any junk bucks, Marty? Hang on, let me see if I can get you. Marty, M-A-R-T-I. M-A-R-T-I. Marty, there you are. You have a few, Marty. I see you have 600. I'll give you some if I can get it to work. And that way you can play the games. All right. Oh, you don't have, yeah, you don't have enough for a coupon yet, Marty. You have 700 junk bucks. If you do exclamation point bucks, I'll type it out. It'll show you how many you have. Okay, so then I was looking around. I was trying to decide what I wanted to put on this page, and I happen to have these little tear-off notepad papers. I also have some images from Calico Collage, but I think I like the idea of using these rubber stamped images and maybe doing something around the outside edge. I could make this up higher or I overlap it. I think first what I want to do is stamp a border around these edges. So I'm going to move this out of the way. Get a scrap of paper here. And let's use the, because it's one of my favorites, the Henna Rose. Oh, by the way, I did add some Beeline Design stamps to my shop. When you go to my shop and go to rubber stamps, and it will show you the most popular stamps, it will show you what I have inventory of. And I had a bunch of stamps from a customer who has passed away, and another friend and customer put all of her stuff together and gave it back to me. And so I thought, well, I don't need all of those, so I'm going to put them in my shop so I can get a little money out of it to help me on my crafting journey, what I use with my stash and whatnot. Buy more glue. Get a little bit right there. Maybe one right there. Okay. All right, I got those. Let's see how this looks now. I've got too many here. All right, so I've got this one that I thought could go up here. And then this one can go over here. Now, do we want to also add some, I don't know if I want to add some book page behind that. I really like how the gel print looks. So I'm thinking of just gluing these down and then adding some, you're just a junkin' baby. So some people got busy. That's what happens. Yeah, I think I'm going to glue those down. My phone just rang. Somebody's probably spam. I hate the spam calls. How many of y'all are so tired of the spam calls? The current spam call, you know, what it was years ago was, we've been trying to reach you about your car's warranty. And I'm like, dude, my car is too old for the car warranty. Quit calling me. So they've stopped with that. Now they're calling and saying, you've been pre-approved for a loan for $60,000. And I'm like, yeah, whatever, go away. So I block them and delete the messages from them. And then the next day I get from a different number. Same thing. You like it like this, Marty? I do too. I think it's pretty. I'm so annoyed at, you know, you've been pre-approved. Well, apparently they left a message. It went straight to voicemail, and then they left me a message. I'm like, go away. I want to put this one over here. So there's a very colorful, grungy, fall themed gel print we're using. You get them too? They're so annoying. I don't answer them. Honestly, I even changed my voicemail that says, if I don't know you, I won't answer your phone call. Leave a message as to why you're calling, and if I feel like it, I'll return the call. The phone is my convenience because my friends and family, you know, they're programmed as a number that I know, and generally, unless I'm in the middle of a live stream, I will answer the phone if I know who the caller is. But if I don't know who it is, you ain't getting me. Hey, Connie, welcome. Wait, so I'm going to put this one here. And then let's look at our journal words. We could say junk never looks so good. Let's see. Did we already do that one? Be extraordinary. We could put that across the bottom or across the top. Let's put it here in this corner. Now my nose is just, does that mean someone's coming to see me with a hole in their britches? What else do we have here? Got some more. All right. Destiny is calling. Be extraordinary. Keep going. Be true to who you are. How about that? That works. And then maybe we should look for some butterflies. Do you see any butterflies anywhere? Okay, we need to glue those two pieces down. Junkie Joe's a tease. Did he spare no one? Oh, so mean. All right, we're going to put this one over here. And we'll put this one over here. Close it up. I will be on a cruise next Monday. I don't know if I'm going to have a chance to record the video because I've been busy. So if I get a chance, I will. If not, I won't. And I'm sorry. Do we want to try to do one of these again? Because they're such, perfect stickers. Is there something... If I put... that's kind of pretty there. Let's see if I have something different. Oh. They're falling all everywhere. Maybe if I put one right there. I think so. All right, we're going to fight it. We're going to fight through it and see if I can get this peeled off. Maybe if I do enough of them, one right after the other, I'll get a better handle on how to remove the backing. Maybe I'm trying too hard. All right, let's see. I think the backing is a lot thicker than the front. Aha, I got it. Wow, that's a good job. You like it? Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, I like it. Okay, let's do this one. Come on. No. Just as I think I've got the handle of it. And I don't want to stab myself. They're a pain. They're beautiful stickers, but they're such a pain. All right, let's try it again. Fold it back a little bit. All right, one more. Come on. I just can't. My glasses are fogging up. I can't see. I'm almost tempted to spend the day seeing if I could figure out a way to remove the backers and put them on something else. I guess if I sit there and did all of them, I could put a pin in between them, right? Okay, now I can see. My glasses are filthy. All right, here we go. I got it. I like it. Oh, that turned out pretty. Yay! Okay, so let's flip over here. This is where I thought we could put this gel print. I don't know that we need anything down here. I have a different butterfly. I'm going to open these. Pardon me, got the hiccup. Okay, stop it. Let's see, maybe, do we want that one? I think that one, or we could do 3. Should we do that? Put the dark one in the middle. I think we'll do that. Let's put those on there because I've had these for years. I got them at Tuesday morning for, I know it was cheaper than $1.99, but I got them a long time ago. And they don't have any adhesive on the back, so I'm going to use the 3-in-1. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, let's put some glue on here. Put these down. They got the same kind of tape. This is wallpaper. If y'all didn't see the live where I built the foundation of this journal, that was a couple weeks ago. I should have put it in the description of this video, but I forgot. Okay. Squeeze hugs. Oh, Karen's also live. What does Karen do? Okay, that looks pretty good, I think. Gives a nice little texture there. All right, so let's flip over here. So this is another mop-up paper where I just rolled my brayer, and I thought it would look really cool on here. So I want that side. So first, I want to trim off a little bit of this edge. Just a smidge. Just a smidge. And then I think what I want to do is turn this over. And I am going to mark this here a little bit. Yeah. And I want to mark, I'm trying to get it lined up as best I can. I want to cut off a little bit of this bottom. All right. So I think what I want to do is have this fold over this edge, which will help strengthen it so we can use this pocket. So the first thing I'm going to do is on this mark, I'm going to score. Okay. Score. And then leave a little bit, we can go about 1/2 inch and cut off that portion. We'll save that for something else another day. Then I'm going to rotate this around and trim off about 1/2 inch because my paper bag was right at 8 inches tall. Okay. Oh, cool. Kellen Jelly Plates, and she's grief counseling to bring you joy through slapping paint on paper. Well, that's fun. Okay, so I need to fold this edge. What are you doing, Hercules? Hi, buddy. You decide to get up? The back door's open if you want to go outside. Are you stuck? So this is going to go over the edge and should fill that page quite nicely. Yeah, I think that'll work right there. So I am going to apply some glue here. Put a little right there. And then go around the edge. Like so. Oops, drop my glue bottle down. There we go. Now let's spread this glue out a little bit. Oh, fun! So you get to see her in person. How fun! He'd spared no one again. Oh my goodness! All right, so I'm going to glue this to the inside. Over the edge. It sticks out a little bit. That's okay. All right, so that was a mop-up gel print, and I happen to have a piece of this. So I was thinking of making a pocket across the bottom, and we can make another journal card. So I'm going to cut this. I think I'll just cut it right in half. So I'm just going to mark where the halfway point is and cut it. Sounds like make a mess and have some fun, right? Okay, I think that would look good there. I'm going to save this piece. And, ooh, I got this piece of red. We could use that on a journal card. I've got a piece of book page here. So what I'm going to do is glue this on here, and then that way I can fold this edge over, because this is thin paper and I don't want it to rip when we're using the pocket. So I'm going to glue it onto this scrap of a book page. I like saving little pieces like this just for this purpose of making pockets. So I'm going to come down from the edge a little and smooth this out. Very good. All right, let's trim this down and we'll make a pocket. All right, save the scrap. You never know. And cut this portion. All right, this will be an extra wide pocket that'll go on here. So I'm going to fold this edge over. And I'm going to add a little bit more glue right here just to make sure that it is adhered. Okay. And then fold this edge over and glue it down. Okay. And then I like to fold the edges over even with the top portion. So we'll do all of those, and then I'll trim off the corners, and then this will become a little pocket we can use in the journal. Okay. Scissors. All right, so I'm going to cut this corner down at an angle. I'm just going to go ahead and cut this all the way off. Cut this one all the way off. Do this one. And I think we'll just go ahead and glue that onto the page. It just naturally looks really good, especially with the brayering off on the other paper. I don't know. I like it. No flames! Well, apparently Michelle is a glitter. Michelle Glitter there is a pyro maniac when it comes to crafts. We've done a little bit of that years ago when we did altar books. We would burn the edges or a hole through the paper. It sure can stink, though. All right, let's put that right about here. Come up just a smidge. You know what I didn't do on this card is I didn't put another piece of paper on the other side, but I will. I think on this one, I think I want to use that. And then I saw, here is another image. Do we want to do the yellow? I think the yellow and the red looks good together. I do. Okay, so using up some of this paper again. So I think I want to make sure I have this going in the right direction. So if I were to put this on here, and then this is going to go down the middle, I think I can keep it the same width as the gel print. So I'm going to glue the gel roll-off paper onto my cardstock card. Kind of line this up with the edge. All right, let's set this out of the way for a moment and put things back. I've been using this jar you gave me, Jennifer, a lot more because I put it down here so I could put these little tools that I use the most at my fingertips. I think it works better. All right, let's cut this piece. Okay, and let's go this way. And then this piece, I was going to put on top. Now, do I want to use another book page behind here? Let's see how this works. If this is too narrow. It doesn't really give you a lot of the book page there. So let's see what else I have here. I have one of these book pages. I could turn it sideways. Nope, I think I'd have to go this way. So if I were to cut this just a little bit bigger, I'm going to try it. Let's see what it looks like. You got to wait a few minutes. You got to hold your mouth right. Did you not use your Dawn dish soap before you came to my live stream? Oh my goodness. Okay, so I'm going to make a little bit of a frame. I think that'll work. Okay, here. Now, if I want, I could make the book page yellow or brown before we put it on the red. So let's slide this out of the way for a second. So do I want to make this portion red? I mean, not red, yellow or brown? I think I hate to cover it up though. I have this mop-up paper. Let's see what this looks like. Let's go. If I were to cut a piece, I kind of like the brown with the red behind it. If I were to move that down just a little bit, I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to cut a piece of this brown. Bye, Marty. Thanks for coming in. I think you're leaving. Hey, Christian. Welcome. Okay. So first, I'm going to kind of gauge how wide I want this piece and cut it. Yeah, that. And I want this to be more solid at the bottom, so I'm going to trim where it's kind of pale off. Now, I'm going to center that. Center it. I eyeball a lot of mine. I don't precise measure. If you need to precise measure, you can do that. It's fine. All right, so if I put that, that's kind of cool, isn't it? Using all those layers. Let's add some distress inks to the book page and we can start putting it together. I could do some sewing again. Do you want me to do some more sewing? Gotta hop back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. I like it. Let's do this edge before we start gluing everything together. I could also stamp around that outside edge. I may do that. I may look for, what do I want? Do I want a script stamp? Let's see what I have in this. I have this stamp that we could just kind of, with this one. I may do that one. I have this one too. Let me get both of them out. Let's see. I'm trying to use more of the things I already have in my stash. Let's see how this looks. Just kind of give us a little texture. So that when we put this down, it just has a little bit of texture in the background. I like it. Let's do that. Okay. Put you back. Okay. Stamp pad away. Sew all of it like crazy. All right, well, we'll sew it. All right, I'm going to glue this to the book page, not going all the way to the edge, just in the center, because I know I'm going to stitch it. Stitch it together. Okay. So we got the sewing lamb. And I think what I'll do is glue these together, and then we'll stitch it, and then we'll glue it on top. That way the stitching doesn't go all the way through to the back. So. All right, come back. Don't stay away too long. All right, I'm just going to use a little bit of glue here. Trying to get that centered as best I can. Okay. All right, we're going to go to the sewing machine, and I think I'm just going to stitch right along the edge of this piece. This is one of Norella's images. What I did was I told my printer to print it as a 5x7 image instead of the full 8.5 by 11. And that gives me a little bit smaller image. So if you ever have a digital kit and you're trying to get a little bit more out of it, instead of just printing it the standard size, when you right click in Windows Explorer, I don't know how to do it in a Mac, don't ask. You can choose print, and then a Windows photo printing should pop up, and then you can choose to tail it to print as a 5x7 image instead of an 8.5 by 11. And then I just cut up those pieces, and I think they work great to make journal cards, and I can even print it again smaller, maybe 4x6, and that gives me smaller images to use to make other elements, other journal cards. I like having the variety of sizes. All right, stitch that all together. I like it. I like it a lot. All right, let's glue these down. I think the brown was a good call to put behind there. I hope you like what you're seeing. I hope it's giving you some inspiration, you know. Get out your gel prints, your painted papers, whatever it may be, and then look at them a little bit differently. Maybe they're not going to be the focal piece. They're going to be the supporting actor in your little play of papers. Put that somewhat in the center. And then let's smooth it out. This time, since I didn't sew through the back paper, I'm going to go ahead and put some distress inks on the back, which will help kind of blend the papers together. Again? Oh my gosh! Michelle, I think you're just going to have to stop playing with Junkie Joe. He is not allowing anybody to win today. Okay. Put my papers back over here. How about we do, I have the word bloom, if I can get it out. I think that would look good right there. Just bloom. Oh dear. He's projecting. It's because you're a pyromaniac. We're going to get flagged on YouTube. Oh, I like it. I don't know that it needs anything down here. I'm looking to see if I have something just handy. I have this maple leaf. Does that need to be there? I think we're just going to leave it the way that it is. I think I like that look. Okay. We have another one of these images from Calico Collage. I'm looking at it. That looks like the upright. All right. I know I put some other pieces in here somewhere. Where is it? Oh, here's another mop-up paper. And then here was my thinking. This is a little tear-off notepad that my mother-in-law gave me. And I had this little piece. I tried stitching fancy on it and it wasn't working, but I think it's okay. And I was thinking just gluing this down with that in the corner. And again, that's just cleaning off my brayer. It gives you some fun colors and papers to work with. Don't report me from talking about people being pyromaniacs. If that's what you're into, okay, just don't hurt anybody. Oh, dear. All right, let's glue this down. I decided y'all didn't need to see me cut every little piece of paper, so I pre-cut that one earlier. All right, and then this piece I was going to put here, and this piece we're going to put down this edge. All right, this is the glue that I need. So I'm just going to put some glue right here down this piece. All right. All right, let's glue this in the corner. And then I've got a flower here. I'll have to look to see if I can find a different butterfly. Maybe I'll go with something different because of the fact that these stickers are such a pain. Okay, I like that. So I have a little flower that I did. Do I want to put it here over my boo-boo? And then put something else up there? Let's look at my fussy cuts. I may not have one the right color already made. So we'll look to see if there's one close enough. Maybe I can alter it if I need to. I have this one that I could add some more. No, that one I can't add more color to. It's got glitter paint on it. Ah, but this one I can make a little bit more orange. So let's see. What is this? This is Crimson, no, Geranium Lake. Let's get a scrap of paper. That might be a good color to put on there. So I'm just going to, it's watercolor pencil. So I'm just going to come in here and scribble on top of this other, which this is a digital of a rubber stamp image. Beeline Designs allows you, as well as my stamps, to stamp them if you want to go ahead and color them and then scan them into your computer to use in your journals or other projects. You're allowed to do that. You're not allowed to stamp color and then sell the images. Now, if it's part of a bigger work, like in the journal, on a page, on a journal card, you can sell the journal or journal card. just not the actual images. All right, so that. Now I'm going to use my watercolor brush and paint it a little bit. Okay. Bonnie's here! All right, so I'm just going to come in here and hydrate the watercolor pencil. So if you've got images that you've already worked on, but you're like, oh, I don't like that color, depending on the medium, you can go over it with something else. All right, I'm going to hit it with a heat tool because it's kind of wet. You just got home! Welcome home! All right, I'm thinking of putting that up there. Oh, I have a little piece of fabric here. Let's see if I can find where the opening is. Where's the end? Is this? Okay, I'm turning this around. So what if I were to put that on top of that piece of fabric? I think so. I'm going to get my scissors and cut this. Trying to use some more of my fabric bits and pieces. So do we want it over to one side? Maybe even all the way over? We have the word notes here. I could see if I have a bigger notes already made. Let's see if I've got one. Well, I have one that says nature. We could change that and make it nature. And then, or should this be changed out? I have one in orange. I could also kind of do two of them. Maybe put the greenery coming up. I think I like that better. Are you with me? What do you think? All right, I'm going to glue the fabric and the butterfly together. And y'all can tell me corner or center for the butterfly on the fabric. So do we want it over here in this corner or more in the center of this piece? Okay. So I think my thinking was over here. And I'm going to replace the notes with nature. All right, glue it down, glue it down. Well, I feel good that we used some of the gel prints in this journal. I think I need the other glue though. All right, put one there. I'm going to put some glue on this piece. Kind of tuck it. And then put this down below. There. I think I'm not going to wait for y'all to answer me. I'm going to just glue it. Oh, I just realized there's two pieces of fabric there. I thought when I unfolded that, I had gotten all the way down, so I have an extra piece I can use. There we go. You know what I could do is I could make a tab, a page tab. Oh, here we go. We can do it over the edge. Maybe down low. All right, so if I fold this lengthwise and then put it here. Yes, 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 yes. This is another gel print that I made a while back. Okay. All right, I think I want it right about here. I don't think I can get that into my sewing machine, so I'm just going to leave that like there. I had saved this piece of paper to put here as a pocket, but I'm thinking I'm just going to leave this page the way that it is, as well as that one. Okay, so what else we got here? So this was some interesting paper that was given to me, and then I had a piece of brown paper, and then one of Norella's images. Does that look okay? We could cut a strip. Oh, wait. I have this piece. Now, do we want to do it down the side? I feel like this needs to be a different color. Different color! How about if we were to do that instead of that light brown? And I think I want to cut this right about there. So I'm going to cut this piece and see how it looks. Okay, line it up. All right. So my thought was I put it on here, put this on here. Maybe we'll find another book page, one of these. I don't know, a little white-ish border. I have a bigger book page here. Where did I do with it? Here's one. I think that would be better. Okay, so I don't want it to glue this shut. So I'm going to look for, here we'll use this. I should be able to put that in here and then glue this piece down and leave it for a moment. And then because my laminated piece of paper is back there, it won't glue my page to the other page because this has got holes in it, and it won't glue my pocket shut. And that'll give it a moment to dry while I finish designing my page. Using up all of these little Mop-It papers and gel prints. Somewhat centered. Let's smooth it out. All right, that'll give that a moment to dry. And I think what I want to do is go ahead and make another frame out of the book page to put this down on. I know I'm doing some of the same techniques, but I don't think that's a problem. Sometimes we can't come up with a new idea, and so we try to use the things we already have and see what you can make with it. And it's possible that it'll inspire something else, and you'll be like, oh, wait, what if I do this? It's using the same basic layout, but just a little bit of a tweak to it. Let's go here. Look at my fingers. My hands got dirty. Go over just a smidge. All right, so this piece I was going to put on the page like that. I like it. Let's distress it. And I think I need a drink of some water. What I haven't done is I haven't used a doily on a page in a while. I also have some fabric here. So this is going to have that page. I don't want to take that out just yet in case there's still glue. I saw some doilies here. Let's see if I can get one out. Come on. There's probably more than one there. I thought maybe we could spray this doily. I could leave it white. That's kind of pretty with the white. I thought I have a copper, which would kind of pull this color here. We can always spray one, and if we don't like it, I'll get another one out. All right, I'm going to lay this in here. And I know my fingers are already dirty, but I'm going to clean them a little bit and put some gloves on. I didn't get them all clean, but sometimes I don't want tattered angels up under my fingernails, so I find if I use some gloves. Apparently these were my gel printing gloves, and I just shoved them in the drawer. I get more than one use out of these. All right, so we're going to make sure we shake this really well. Okay, let's see. All right. I'm going to kind of mush this around a little bit. All right, clean my fingers. Hello, hello, hello. All right, let's go ahead and dry this and see how it looks. It's not quite as dark because I was mushing it around with my fingers. All right, let's see if I can get this up. It's got a little bit of a copper tint to it. Come on, dry, dry, dry. I'm moving it around because I don't want it to burn. Unlike Michelle. I don't know. I think that's kind of an interesting color combo. What do you think? I think that looks pretty good. All right. Taking the gloves off. Okay. We didn't use that piece, so I'll set this aside. All right, I'm going to go ahead and glue these two pieces together and then glue down the doily. All right, who's still with me? Have I given y'all some ideas of using those painty papers, the gel prints, and the roll-off papers, as I call them? Do I want to go ahead and do the stitches around that? I'm kind of thinking I should. Just because we've done it so many other times. I'll go ahead and glue the doily down. Do I want it off the page or down? I think down just a little bit so you can kind of see the edges there. You're here! Bonnie's here! I know several people are going back and forth because they're doing other things. Like Julie is moving into her new place, so she's unpacking. Got to pack a little unpack a little at a time. I don't envy her. I don't want to move ever. I told my husband, I said, we already have this place. I'm happy here. Why do I want to move? It's much easier to pack a suitcase and go visit somewhere than it is to pack your whole house. All right, let's go over to the sewing machine. Sewing land! And I'm going to stitch this. Can I get it switched? It's thinking about it. All right, stitching away. Another thing I could do with this is make it a pocket. I might do that. Because then we could put a journal card in the pocket. Because I've been adding all these pieces onto the existing pages, but I haven't really made a lot of journal space. All right, let's come back over here. If I have another book page that I can use. Let's see what we have here. See if I take this piece and put it on here and then glue it down as a pocket so you can't see this piece, then we could either from the top or the side or the bottom. So I'm going to glue it down and then trim it so it's just a little bit bigger all the way around. And let's look at this. Can I go that way? Yeah. No, let's go this way. We'll just do it up here in the corner. So I'm going to come down from the edge just a little bit so I can fold this over to the inside. And that'll give my other book page a little more strength. So if you have book pages that are just not real exciting and you don't want to use those as a visible piece, you can use them as a pocket. All right, cut this down just a little bit and cut this way. Okay. So this piece I want to cut, or not cut, fold all the way over here. There, and glue it down. And then these pieces will fold up and cut off the corners, and this will be a pocket. I guess I decided this is going to be a top-loading pocket. Okay. And then go this way, like so. I think we're going to finish up here in just a minute. I'm going to make a quick card to put in the pocket. And this will be the last element that we do here today. Scissors. Cut that corner. Cut that corner. Cut that. And cut that. So how big is my pocket now? So I need to make a journal card that'll fit inside. So if I make it 3.5 or less, and it can be 5 to 6 inches tall. If I put this here, I think that'll work. All right, let's do this glue. All right. Journal card, and then put the stuff in the pocket back on the other side. Maybe add some more words to this side. Okay, put this right here. I like it. I'm going to take this piece out because this should be dry now. It does feel dry. I don't feel any glue. And this can go back in here. And I need a journal card to go in here. I think I have some watercolor paper. Oh, but I have a piece of just, what do you call this, coffee dyed paper. Now, do we just want it to where it barely sticks out, or do I want it to stick out right away? I think just barely sticks out. That way I'm not wasting any paper. So we're going to make this, what is that, 3.5? I think I have a half mark here, so cut it right here. I did coffee dye some paper. I've got to take it to the shop because I want to press it with my heat press because it wrinkles. And I like them smooth. So that's this side. So if we put this in here, make sure we're getting in the pocket. It's still, the glue's still wet, so I don't want to mess it up. Come on, cooperate. And it goes down in. We could put a piece of maybe a piece of fabric. Where's my corner chopper? There it is. Woo! I was attacked. You get back up there. All right, so we need a 1/4 inch. So I'm going to do a rounded corners. Put that back. And let's distress it. Maybe find a little piece of fabric. We had that orange piece earlier. What'd I do with it? Oh, I used it on the edge of the paper. That's right. Let's see. What do we want to do on this piece? Oh, I have this piece of orange. So if we were to put that in there, that would stick out the top. I have this piece of, if I glue that really well across there, and then this is stuck in the pocket. That would stick out just a little bit. I think that's what I'm going to do. Okay. So across here, and kind of making a straight line across that flower so that when I put it on here, it goes from edge to edge pretty much. I'm going to smash it. Smash it down. Ooh! A little moth, a little tiny, tiny moth just flew in here. Okay. I like it. Trying to make sure I get it underneath. Oh, I like that. I think that looks pretty. Okay, so I've got this little piece here. I could stamp directly on that, or I can find a word in my plethora of words. Aspire to be amazing. another thing I could do is glue this down, and it could be a little pocket, but we've got so many layers on this page. I think I'm just going to trim this to be a frame. All right, come here. Let's look at this. Right at 1 inch, I think. Save that for another day. Distress ink. I know I didn't use a whole lot of my gel prints, but I think I used quite a few in here. Bonnie and Glitter are here. Put this right in the middle. I like it. I like it a lot. Glue this down. I probably should put some of the beacon glue on this side because that's a piece with acrylic paint. There. Put it right about there. And then I've got others, you know, that I'm set aside to play with in here. But I like this. Okay, so here's what we just finished. So I used a gel plate print / mop-up paper in the background there. And then we did this little piece with the fabric. Used another mop-up page back here and rubber stamped images. And this is the center where I used a gel print and layered some pieces. And did I do, I thought I did another one. Was it just the back? Oh, I've got this piece that I'm thinking of putting on the other side. I may put another pocket on here. I haven't decided yet. Oh yeah, this journal card that we made first. I have to put some coffee dyed paper on the back of that. I don't know if I have a piece. I have this piece. Is that big enough? I don't know. I may want it to be the full size, not just down the center. But I like the way that one turned out. That was the first thing. And then I'm going to pop that out so I can remember to do that. Oh yeah, and then back here, we used the roll-off paper, a gel print, and then here was another roll-off paper in the background, and another one behind the calico collage image. I like how that turned out. Did y'all like this? Did y'all have fun? We might make it this time. Oh, is it too late? Let me get in. Let me see. I may be too late. All right, is there enough people that gets in the boss fight? If you haven't already joined the raffle, please do so. Type ! raffle. All right, Hercules boss. Oh, we all won a little bit. All right, so this is open, so we'll be able to put a journal card in there. Lots of options here. I hope you enjoyed today. I hope it gives you some inspiration of using all these bits and pieces that you may have accumulated, created, picked up, given, whatever it may be. It's time to clean up my desk. I've got a mess. I've got a mess. There's a mess everywhere on my desk. Hey, that rhymes. So if I put it all away, it makes it so much easier to start another day. As a poet did know it. I made this box when I was at a retreat a while back, and I really like having it here handy to be able to put things inside. I think these are my stickers, so I'm going to put the stickers away. I got out some other stickers, but I didn't end up using any of those today. Maybe next time. They're little petals, so I'll put those away too. Did you like today? Hercules is doing okay. Hercules went for an adventure last week. I let him out at the shop in the backyard, and normally he'll just, we'll watch him, we'll watch out the window because I had work to do. And I got distracted because I was trying to concentrate on a problem that I had. And Hercules wandered off and went on an adventure. And someone picked him up and took him to the vet down the street, who then in turn called animal control. So I had to go pick him up at animal control. Thankfully, there wasn't a fine for Hercules getting out. Otherwise, he's been fine. He still has a little bit of a dementia moment every so often where he gets a little frantic because he doesn't know where he's at. And I think that's what happened. He went outside and we were looking for him, and then I got distracted, so I didn't go back. I thought Henry had, and Henry thought I had. Yeah, it was not good, but he was fine. He doesn't seem to have any ill effects from being out on the road, almost getting run over. I was so upset. I was like, I can't believe I forgot him. Yeah, me too. I'm so glad that he wasn't injured. Yeah. And I told on myself. So things happen. And I'm so glad I got him back. So thank you for asking. Otherwise, he's really good. Oh, did I see your comment? No, I don't see it. Michelle, where'd it go? Oh, did I tell you thank you? Oh, you're very welcome. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You're very welcome. You're very welcome, Michelle, for the journal. Ooh, what are you doing, little moth? You should find a new home. So yes, I see it. Thank you so very much. You're welcome. You're welcome, you're welcome, you're welcome, you're welcome. Is that better? All right, let's pick a winner of the junk bucks. And that winner is Daisies and Grace Bonnie. All right. Oh, did I ever send you your coupon? I don't think I did. I'm sorry. I will get that done. Let's add $200. 200. So that would be $9.88 because I think it was $7. Oh well, you got extra. You won again. Thank you all for being here today. I really appreciate you spending the time with me and allowing me to share a little bit of my creativity with you. And hopefully it inspires you to be creative too. Get in your workspace and get some things out and play and just have fun. And don't worry about, well, that didn't turn out the way you thought it would. There's possibly different things you can do with it. You know, like these roll-off papers, the mop-up papers that I use. Layering them with other papers is kind of fun. Let's see. I am sorry. Okay, I've got a note here, and I thought I'd sent it to you. Ah, here it is. Okay, I've got the note out again. Okay. Hand sanitizer. What else? Be kind to those out there. You never know what someone else is going through. As we were talking at the beginning of this live, everybody has something going on in their life, and you never know what someone else is going through, and say a prayer for them. You may not know them. You know, I use this analogy. You're driving down the road and someone cuts you off. Well, instead of getting mad at them, pray for them, because there's probably a reason that they're frantic, they're hurrying, and they're trying to get somewhere. Yeah, they might be a jerk, but maybe you need to pray for them to not be a jerk. And it would be better for your soul if you act with kindness instead of anger. All right, everybody, have an amazing week. I may or may not have a video for next week because I'm going to be on a cruise. I don't know if I'm going to be able time-wise get it done. Maybe I can, maybe I won't. So may have a week off while I have my vacation next week. Love you too. Thank you so much for being here. Y'all have an amazing week. Lots of love, everybody. Yeah, call your mom. Call your mom. Call your friends. Y'all take care. Have an amazing week. Again, lots of love to each and every one of you. Bye, everybody.